Jennifer Hargrave, who joins us here on 700 WLW. Jennifer, how are you on this glorious day?
I am good, Ken. Thanks for having me.
I don't know how either will survive. Kanye's worth about $1.3 billion. She's worth about $1 billion. But I don't know if they could live like that with that kind of settlement. How will they survive? I mean, that's not very much money for them, is it?
You know, one of the things that people have to face in divorce is, living with half of the assets after divorce, and that poor Kim and Kanye is going to be rough.
Yeah, it is. I mean, many of these celebrity marriages, a great majority of them, end in divorce, and so I'm not surprised by that. But I guess he's gone off the rails. I guess she accuses him of being bipolar, and I guess it got to a point where they couldn't live together. There had to be a prenup, though, right? I mean, with both worth all that money, and who knew back when they got married whether or not Kanye's net worth would increase or not increase, and so true with her. There had to be some sort of prenup, right?
Of course, it's fun to speculate in these cases. I actually don't have any knowledge, and if I did, I wouldn't be able to talk about it. But yeah, your guess is as good as mine. I'm pretty sure they would have had a prenup. Marriages like that aren't entered into lightly or unadvisedly, and so I would expect that all of their advisors would have recommended that they have a prenup, which will make the property division a little simpler. In most cases, when we have a premarital agreement, we know how all the property is going to get divided. But that'll still leave issues concerning the children up for, decisions to be made. I mean, that's usually not dealt with in a premarital agreement.
Yeah. 4 kids, I think, is what they have between them, and financially, I'm sure they'll both be okay. But I mean, if you're the judge in this case, I mean, these are 2 people that they look like 2 nutballs. How do you decide what's best for the kids?
Oh my goodness. Well, judges do that. That's what they do, right? In a lot of cases that go to court, that go before a judge, you have parents who are just swinging the mud back and forth, and sometimes you do wonder how do the judges decide which parent, because they both make each other look so unfit. My guess is that Kim and Kanye are going to try and get this resolved without having to go to court. It certainly sounds like that's what Kim's intention is anyway. Unfortunately, if one party wants to have a battle and make it a public battle in a courtroom, they get to do that. There's not really a way to opt out of that. But it looks like Kim's doing her best to at least get things started off on a good footing. I know I've seen where she's, asked for people to have compassion for Kanye, and it seems like, she's coming at it from that standpoint, but we'll see.
The one thing I wonder about in situations like this is, okay, when is the made-for-television movie or the series now going to be released? Because when you get to 2 people like this, it would seem like their overall desire is fame and whatever fortune they get out of it, and then some sort of TV deal. This is going to be on TV soon, don't you?
Oh, I'm sure. These days it used to be a miniseries, right? But now it'll be like on Netflix or something.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure there'll be a docudrama on this. I mean, they already had a reality TV show, so that would be nothing new for them.
No.
Maybe they ought to do a reality divorce show.
But in all sincerity, when a couple splits up, regardless if they're billionaires or not, there's great stress involved. I'm sure she'll run to her friends. He'll go to his friends. We talked about the kids. They're kind of caught in the middle. Who knows what happens with them? But the bottom line is it doesn't matter how much money you have. Well, I guess it does, because it determines how you're going to live. But it's stressful for anyone, and I'm sure it will be for them as well.
Oh, absolutely. I don't know anybody for whom divorce is, a pleasurable thing to go through. It is difficult. And in some ways, having the kind of money they have can complicate things. It can certainly drive the conflict if they're not careful in their decision making. There's no for a lot of couples, conflict costs money, and so they'll end up reaching a resolution so that they don't have to pay more money. But when you have unlimited resources, you don't always have that barrier there. But hopefully, people will realize that there's more at stake than just the financials. There's the emotional well-being of the children. There's, privacy. Even for a couple who hasn't been private, conflict is very intimate. And, hopefully they will both recognize that and make decisions that are best for their family as a whole.
She has an attorney by the name of Laura Wasser. I guess she's based in New York. I don't know. She represented Kim Kardashian when she split from her other husband of note, a basketball player, Chris Humphries. So I guess, that this would probably move towards settlement, because you're right. I don't think anybody wants, maybe they do, because it all could be geared to entertainment, but I don't think anybody wants to have their pedigree dragged into a court and everybody can see it for all it's worth. But I mean, in all sincerity, both sides, even if they have a prenup, it's not cut and dry all the time, is it?
No, it isn't. In fact, a prenup can give a couple one more thing to argue about, right? Is the prenup enforceable? Are we going to abide by the terms? Are there reasons why we might want you buried from the prenup? So it doesn't make it a done deal. It can certainly simplify issues. Laura Wasser is a very well-respected attorney. I mean, she's known for, handling a lot of these high-profile cases, and she's good at helping couples stay out of the courtroom. And listen, I mean, only go to court if you have to. It's not a pleasant place to be. People often can romanticize what that courtroom battle looks like based on, what we see on TV. But, the rules of evidence apply, and the time limits restrict what information can be admitted. And so we don't always get to tell the story that we want to tell. And, a lot of times the judge will sort of split the baby anyway. So there's not often a cut and dry winner and loser. And it just looks like, from the publicity, which obviously is controlled by their representatives, but it looks like they really are going to try and get a lot of the issues resolved between them and not have to go to court, which is wise.
Splitting the baby, that's euphemistically speaking, of course. That doesn't actually happen, we hope. I don't know how. I think they'll be fine. I don't know how you and me and everyone else survives as this marriage goes south. It's Jennifer, you're
what are we going to talk about, Ken?
No, I know. Oh, there'll be another couple here. I mean, give Tom Cruise another month, and I'm sure we'll be talking about him. But anyway, Jennifer Hargrave, thank you so much. You have a great day. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Ken. You bet. Bye.